everybody, what's up? Welcome to Everything Martial Arts, the show where we talk to fighters, athletes, martial artists, and movie stars about, well, everything martial arts. On this episode, it's part 2 of my interview with the very talented Michael Jai White. Now, Michael discusses his feelings about MMA, what he does to stay fit, our favorite action films, and what it's like being a role model and an African-American action hero. Stay tuned for his thoughts.
I feel very good about being considered that, but it's weird. Like, I don't limit myself as just an African American action person. Just like when I grew up, I was inspired by like Joe Louis and Bill Wallace, Bruce Lee. I never thought about race or anything. It's just about the prowess that they had, and. But I do recognize in the African American community, there are a lot of role models that are not necessarily people who are following a positive, healthy lifestyle. So I do recognize, my significance in that area.
Yeah. And do you see that it's changing? It's getting better? Or do you think it's getting worse?
I think it's slightly getting better.
Okay.
I think it's slightly getting better. I really, and I know it's off topic, but I really applaud the NBA guys, for like changing it up. Now I see these guys, dressing, they're doing the studious look, and that's influencing younger kids. That's way better than the generation that's coming from.
Like with the pants down thing. Is that what you're trying to talk about?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a pet peeve of yours?
That's a big pet peeve.
Are you angry and you go, why? Why are your pants down?
Well, see, that's from the jailhouse influence.
Yes.
Because they didn't have belts in jail, and so their pants are sagging.
Yeah.
And they didn't have shoelaces, so the shoelaces are loose. I don't think that's the right influence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Did you have a nickname when you were fighting?
I had a few of them.
Okay, what were they?
Well, one of my nicknames is Bam. I mean, my biggest nickname was Bam Bam, because I was a big, strong kid, but young.
Okay.
So there's people on a side of town where I'm from that know me as Bam.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. What other ones?
Well, some people call me, there's one I don't want to even say.
Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate.
I want to put that one to rest just in case there's some pending cases out there.
All right, so what are your favorite exercises? What are your least favorite exercises?
Favorite exercises? Probably I like the pull-up push thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It can get your whole body involved.
Okay.
You do those, you're pretty set. If you don't have that much time, you're straight.
Are we ever going to see a Michael Jai White workout video?
You are, actually.
Really?
I'm actually getting ready to do it. It's called the Jai Method.
The Jai Method. So what is the Jai Method?
It encompasses everything I do.
Okay.
I've had to learn a great deal about nutrition, weight control, and exercise, being that, on camera, off, lifestyle, just the way I live. Nutrition is a big thing.
So when you're training for a film, is it like training for a fight? You have to be on peak for certain.
Well, yeah, I treat it like I'm training for a fight.
Okay.
Whether I'm dropping weight or adding it.
Yeah. Adding weight.
I'm almost never adding weight. I'm usually dropping weight.
Leaning down?
Yeah,
because what are some of the films that you've done that you had to be the leanest for?
Well, I leaned out for my last the last season of For Better or Worse.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to look I felt like I looked too big before, and that kind of gets in the way.
Okay.
And just some some films I'll lean out, I'll look smaller because I don't want to look like I'm supposed to beat everybody. I want to look like a little.
Somebody to give you a challenge.
Yeah, I want to look heroic. So it's hard to.
Next Avengers.
Yeah, it's hard to find guys my size or bigger to look heroic against.
Yeah.
So And a lot of the big guys, they kind of move slow, so I don't,
Yeah. Forms and kata. Do you still practice your forms and your katas?
I absolutely practice forms and katas, yeah. I think it's very important because it's not necessarily in my comfort zone. Fighting was the easiest thing for me.
Okay.
But what makes me a better martial artist is adhering to the things that are not that comfortable.
Okay.
I think the martial arts ethic is you get up and you train and you do these things that you may not want to do. That's what life is about. You do things that.
What are the moves or the exercises you don't want to do?
Well, I should be sharp. A lot of times you don't want to stretch, but you should.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't want to do kata, but I want to always be sharp enough to do it.
Yeah. I hate running.
Me too.
Like I hate it.
But I'm training at UCLA with the UCLA track team. Running is not the most fun thing to me, but I know that it's better for me.
I know. It makes me a better fighter, so I do it, but I'm not good at it. And when I run, I sound like James Brown. I'm so bad at it, but you need to have that win. So
yeah, it's about discipline. Once we become instructors, sometimes, as you see, there's a lot of bellies on a lot of instructors out here.
Yes, I do. Their belt is by their knees.
Yeah, they can make excuses for themselves, but that's not the martial arts ethic.
Your
I'm
belt
sorry.
should not be below your penis.
No, absolutely.
Around your waist.
Right.
Yes.
Or get a bigger penis. So it's just like, yeah. Well, sometimes I'm not going there, but anyway, it's like really like. I know it's tough things to say, but hey, people get comfortable in their rank, in their black belts, and they don't want to do the work anymore. I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I keep doing other styles.
Right.
I get a black belt in something, and I put a white belt on in something else. Stay humble.
There's a theme with you that I really like. You are trying to emphasize that people should get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And are you like that with acting in film roles too?
Absolutely.
Like if something's like, oh, this is some serious drama, I need to be uncomfortable there or comfortable there.
That's
what
why.
are you the most uncomfortable with?
Well, I'm uncomfortable with fear.
Fear?
I don't have a lot of fear in my life.
Okay.
So sometimes it's very difficult for me to play fear on camera. Very difficult. Because I've got the opposite problem.
Like you jump right in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my last thing for you.
Give us an example of what your fear looks like. Your fear face.
Yeah, fear face.
I gotta work on it. Here's my fear face.
That was it right there.
That's my fear face.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last three. MMA. What do you think about it? How do you feel about it? Good thing, bad thing?
MMA overall is a good thing. Definitely. It's a hell of a sport.
Success in retention of
I'm a little afraid that somebody's going to die. But yeah, that's the fearful face.
Yeah.
Because once their striking starts getting better,
Yeah.
because really the evolution in striking has not happened yet.
It's coming.
Yeah. And when it gets there's going to be some real damage.
Those little 8-ounce, 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah. When I first look at it, I look at it as somebody who's perfected striking. And I go, well, how in the world is this going to be legal?
Yeah.
But I only see a few people who strike really efficiently.
Who are your favorite fighters?
Well, DC, my boy Dan Cormier, John Jones, and Anderson Silva. These people, yeah, very effective. I think John Jones has it just naturally. It's weird. You normally don't see people who have that acceleration to a point like that, like he does, and perfectly straight technique.
Yeah.
That's very damaging. I'm not sure if he even knows he does it.
I like hearing that because
But-
my trainer trained John.
Yeah, but that's quite dangerous when people are used to imperfect technique.
Yeah.
If you take perfect technique with the inclination and natural strength, it can be quite devastating.
And John is evolving all the time too. That's what makes him a martial artist.
Yeah, I see some of his elbows, and he's one of the first people who I see that rotates his elbow right and not pushes it.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, that something bad could happen.
All right. Your favorite martial arts films?
Favorite martial arts films? Enter the
You can
Dragon.
say something you're in. Oh.
No, I ain't close to being my favorite. Enter the Dragon. Definitely Shogun Assassins. Mm-hmm. Then it's gonna be Chinese Connection. Then everything Bruce Lee did, and then Tony Jaa, and now to me, the baddest guy who's doing it now, I think is Donnie Yen.
Yes, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, he keeps evolving too.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Flashpoint? What?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Donnie Yen is really doing it right.
I always liked Michael Jai White, but I like him even more right now.
Oh, thank you. You heard it.
Can you give me, and I'm going to get off the camera for this, your favorite martial arts movie quote?
My favorite martial arts movie quote
Bad
is...
guy, good guy?
Oh.
And you got to act it out, too.
If you can.
I've already acted it out. I did it before.
What'd you do?
I said in Black Dynamite, suddenly, I'd like to leave your island.
Awesome.
Yeah. I snuck it in.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Bullshit, Mr. Handman. Could I say that?
Yes, you can say that. You can totally say that.
Yeah.
Oh, and favorite villain?
Favorite villain in martial arts movies?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be. It's not in a real martial arts movie.
That's okay.
But it's in Fistful of Yen.
Go.
The parody of Enter the Dragon. It's a movie called Kentucky Fried Movie. There was a thing called Fistful of Yen. It's a parody of Enter the Dragon. It's hilarious.
All right,
and the guy who plays Han is my favorite villain.
Okay.
It's funny as hell. You gotta look at it.
All right.
Yeah.
Michael, it's always a pleasure talking to
my
you.
pleasure.
Thank you so much for taking some time with me.
All right.
And we'll see you at the next one, yeah? All
Certainly
right.
will.
Thank you.